Welcome to the 7th Spiritual Awakening Teleclass. I'm Nanice. You have the power to create anything that you desire. You can be, do, and have your greatest wishes. The universe is just waiting for your command and waiting for you to align with that which you desire. We often hear about the law of attraction, such a power and amazing law in the universe, where we can attract to us whatever it is that we desire as long as we are a vibrational or energetic match to it. What we often fail to take into account is the law of creation, as the law of attraction is always working. The law of creation is working as well. But often the law of creation is working at a very unconscious level. The purpose of this class is to show you how to use the law of creation so that you can consciously create that which you desire. The law of creation in combination with the law of attraction is like the magic wand of the universe, and we all have this ability. Imagine what you would create if you could create the best relationship, the best living circumstance, the best purpose, the best family, the best anything. Imagine how you would feel knowing that you have the power right now to consciously create everything and anything that you truly desire. I'm about to share a secret to creating the life that you truly desire. But before I do, I request that you use this superpower with the highest of integrity, and you do not use it for negativity. This superpower was taught in all the ancient mystery schools, but has been hidden from us because we have not been responsible with our thoughts, energy, or emotions. We've been sloppy with our energy, giving our power away, focusing on negativity, and trying to control outcomes in ways that are completely out of integrity. I first discovered this superpower when I was just 12 years old. Although I didn't understand what it was at the time, it was certainly the first and most powerful time that I came in contact with it. It was just before the holidays, just before Christmas, and the only gift that I wanted was a green ice skating skirt to match the laces of my ice skates. I had it in my head that if I could have this very particular skating skirt in this very particular color that matched the laces of my skates, I would be able to skate just like Dorothy Hamill. It was Christmas Eve, and my parents were taking me out for our traditional holiday dinner. As we were driving up Northern Boulevard in Queens, New York, my mother announced that despite her best efforts, she could not find a skating skirt like the one I wanted, and especially not in that exact shade of green. Now remember, this was before the internet. This was before many of the conveniences that we have now. She said, "I want you to know this now so that you won't be disappointed on Christmas." Now, I could have easily believed my mom because she was very, very convincing. But you see, I knew that I was getting that green skating skirt. I had been imagining it for weeks. I saw myself on the ice doing spins and figure eights just like Dorothy Hamill. I believed that that green skating skirt held the key to my success. Remember, I was just 12 years old. So I had to have it. So even as my mom was telling me it was totally impossible, that there was no way that I was getting this green skating skirt, this green skating outfit actually, I continued to imagine what I desired without doubt or hesitation. Soon we were pulling up in front of the restaurant, only to discover that the store next to the restaurant had moved out in the year since we had been there last, and in its place was a sporting goods store. And there it was. There it was in the window on a mannequin, my green skating skirt. I practically jumped out of the moving car with my mother in tow. The store was closed, but I could see the clerk inside, I banged on the door relentlessly until she opened it. It was the only skating skirt, the only skating outfit that they had in the whole store, and of course it was my size. And it was the perfect shade of green. It was even on sale. My mother kept muttering, "I can't believe it, I can't believe it." But I did. I believed it. And that is the whole point. The next day, I put on the skirt, got out on the ice, and without a second thought, I gracefully spun, twirled, and figure-eighted my way around the rink. When someone asked how many years I had been training, and I answered none, it occurred to me that my expertise on the ice was technically impossible. Yet I was doing it. It took me about 10 years to understand how I instantly became a figure skater, but it would take me decades to understand how I manifested that green skating skirt. What was the magic key that I had accidentally stumbled upon, and how could I use it at will to create or attract what I desire? You might say that green skating skirt set me on a lifetime journey of metaphysical discovery in order to understand and consciously utilize this magical superpower. So, what is this superpower? This superpower is the power of imagination. Everything in the physical world, everything, is a result of imagination. Everything begins with imagination. Every book written, every house built, every painting painted, every invention invented, every song sung, all the result of imagination. If you take away imagination, you take away the creation process of life. On a metaphysical level, even the sky, the stars, and the air is imagined into being. There is magic in imagination. In fact, imagination is the magic of the universe. We live in a world of imagination. You live in your world of imagination, and I live in mine. We connect only at agreed-upon points of imagination. Sometimes that point is a perfect reflection, and other times that point is complementary match, where it fits together in direct opposition, like yin and yang. When we have negative issues in our lives, it is only because our imagination is based on false beliefs that do not support the lives we desire and unconditionally deserve. If you want to change your world, you must first change your imagination. Everything that you experience is experienced through your consciousness. Try to find something, anything, that is not perceived through your individual consciousness. It is impossible, but try anyway. The world that we live in is a world of projected consciousness. But how does consciousness manifest in reality? Well, consciousness manifests in reality by means of imagination. Imagination is an image that we project into creation. Again, imagination is an image that we project into creation. In this way, and so many more, imagination is our divinely given superpower. You may ask, if we can manifest our dreams simply by using the power of imagination, then why do we continuously imagine things that we do not want? Good question. First, you must understand that imagination is something that everyone is born with, and every child possesses until it is programmed out. Instead of supporting this great gift of imagination, our teachers, society, and even our parents train us to think logically and to shun our imagination. Imagination is deemed silly and useless, and sometimes children are even punished for making things up. As logic is rewarded, imagination, which is also connected to intuition, is devalued. By the time we reach adulthood, most of us have lost our ability to imagine what we really want. Basically, we are trained not to use our imagination. But why? There is an overpowering control in this world that is invested in us being powerless, so that we cannot imagine different and better scenarios for this life on this planet. If you can consciously command your imagination, you can transform the world. Because they know this, we have all been trained not to think for ourselves. our schools and systems have debilitated our powers of imagination. We have been brainwashed to forget who we really are. As a result, most of us have lost control of this precious gift, our imagination. It is not actually correct to say that we have lost our ability to imagine. We are still using the power of imagination, but they have been utilizing our imaginations to create a destructive and self-serving reality that is debilitating the earth and basically killing humanity. This means that someone or something has taken over your imagination. Your imagination has been hijacked by unscrupulous sources. Your most valuable resource is in the hands of, well, it's outside of your own hands. We've been programmed to imagine negativity, destruction, poverty, and war. This is the only reason why we are experiencing these things. If we did not imagine them, they would not be so. Do not despair. This is the best news ever, because this means that we don't have to fight to change reality. You don't need protests, weapons, or upheaval. You only have to reclaim your imagination, and consciously use it to recreate a different world than the one we now experience. This means that you don't need money, status, or external power in order to change the world. You only need imagination. Imagination belongs to you, and no one has a right to it. There are 5 ways we have lost control of our imagination. In order to reclaim the power of your imagination, it is important to first understand all the ways in which you have lost control of your imagination, or rather why we find it so challenging to imagine the goodness of life and to imagine what we truly desire. 1. We doubt that we are worthy or deserving of what we desire. A long list of unreachable conditions must be met in order for us to believe that we are deserving of our highest desires in love, abundance, and even life purpose. 2, we are trained to worry and think about what we don't want so that we can stay on guard in order to prevent negativity from occurring, all the while completely oblivious to the fact that we are attracting negativity, to us through our focused attention. Fears. Our fears about life are so overwhelming that there is no space to imagine what we desire. Since we are in survival mode most of the time, we are on a constant outlook for danger, causing us to imagine that which could threaten us. 3. Most of us live in a reactive state of imagination. This means we are constantly reacting to what the outside world of people and things presents to us, never realizing that our reactions are creating more of the same. Because in order to react, we must continue to imagine that which causes us to react. The 4th reason is programs run us and are running us. We are programmed to imagine negative scenarios and to stay in survival mode. These programs include the fitting in program, the ego program, the worthiness program, the depression program, and on and on and on. The 5th reason is we allow outside influences. We allow the outside world to tell us what to imagine through the means of TV, media, internet, etc., etc., etc. When we turn off the TV or even much of the internet, we turn off the ability for those outside of us to control us. You see, every time we turn on the TV, or even every time we turn on a great deal on the internet, we subject ourselves to someone or something other than us, and we allow that something or someone to control our imagination. If anything can control your imagination, it can control you. With so much pressure and persuasion to imagine negativity, it becomes increasingly difficult to imagine what you really desire. I know that this physical world seems concrete, but that is just the illusion. Because we are part of the concreteness, reality seems solid and unchangeable, but this is all smokes and mirrors. When you are in it, you cannot see it, but if you can rise above it, everything becomes clear. Emotion is what keeps the illusion believable. Without emotion, you could easily detach from everyday reality. And without attachment, you could see that reality is vibration that is held in place by imagination, imaging into creation. The number one emotion that keeps reality seeming real is fear, and all forms of fear, including worry, frustration, anger, impatience, jealousy. And this is why fear is used in order to keep us believing the current illusion. We often think of imagination as thought or visualization, but that is just part of the equation. When we imagine something, we are experiencing it internally, as if it already exists. This means that there is a full sensory experience associated with imagination that may include imagined sounds, tastes, bodily sensations, and especially emotion. In fact, it is emotion that ignites imagined energy into motion. Let me say that again. It is emotion that ignites imagined energy into motion. Emotion is the fuel for the fire. The bottom line is, if we experience something in our imagination as if it already exists, for all intents and purposes, it does, and therefore will manifest in reality. But let us not forget the key to manifesting. In order to manifest your imagination into full-on reality experience, you must believe your imagination to be true. If imagination is the magic of the universe, belief is the magic wand. You have heard the expression, you will see it when you believe it. If you don't believe your imagination, it has no power to materialize. We are bombarded with countless brainwashing strategies to get us to believe a particular low vibration reality, and this is why we are now experiencing this version of reality. As long as you believe in negativity, you will attract and create negativity. When you imagine that which you desire, you align with that reality, which already exists. Sometimes things just automatically change on their own, and other times you are drawn to take inspired action that supports your imagination. Have you ever considered that your dream to serve humanity or the planet is your higher self speaking to you in an attempt, to tempt you to a higher version of reality? Your conscious imagination could lead to creating a humanitarian organization or simply growing your own food. Without conscious imagination, there is no inspired action. And if you are not consciously commanding your imagination, someone or something else is. If you want to make a change in your life or in the world, it must be first through your imagination. If your imagination is not commanded by you, it is extremely difficult to follow your inner guidance because your imagination is not in perfect alignment. If you cannot imagine something, do not take action until you do. The greatest ball players first imagine the ball going into the hoop, the hole, or the perfect target before they ever release or strike that ball. When you imagine that which you desire, you are actually speaking directly to the quantum field, and the quantum field materializes your imagination into physical reality. If you do not tell the quantum field what you want by using your imagination, the field cannot deliver. The field is always listening and always says yes. If you are not getting or experiencing what you think you want, one or more of these conditions apply. You are not giving the field a clear message. You are not believing that you can have what you desire. You have placed conditions on what you want. You doubt your ability or you question your deservingness. The thing is, the quantum field does not judge you worthy or unworthy and does not doubt your abilities. The only condition that is placed on delivering your request is your alignment through your ability and willingness to believe that it is already done. Life and everything in it is a direct result, a direct reflection, a direct manifestation of the quantum field. Everything and everyone first manifests on the quantum level. Physically, physicality, reality, is a result of quantum level construction. We construct the quantum level through imagination. If we are not consciously constructing our own reality, then we have given this vast power over to something or someone else. The good news is that it's never too late to take this power back. If you find it difficult to imagine positive or desirable circumstances for yourself or the world, it is only because you have been imagining negativity and undesirable circumstances for so long that you have created deep patterns of thought that manifest in thought templates. Thought templates are automatic thoughts that you think over and over without consciousness. You can and you must overcome these thought templates. Just because it is difficult to retrain your imagination doesn't mean that you cannot do it or you should not do it. If you want to take back your life, you must first and foremost take back your imagination. The key is conscious and consistent practice for as long as it takes. This means that every day you partake in what I call active meditation. In active meditation, after clearing your mind in your preferred way, you consciously imagine. Here's an exercise that may be helpful. Imagine a seed that you plant in a garden. Imagine the seed growing into a tree. With your imagination, follow the growth of the tree through its entire lifespan and back into the earth. If you find this easy, expand on your concept in your own way. If you find this process challenging, keep at it every day. Even if you can only imagine a small part of the process, it is progress. Keep going. If you want to free yourself, you must free your mind. To reclaim your imagination, it is also important to consider the body. The pineal gland is not only called the third eye, it is also called the eye of imagination. If your pineal gland is calcified, it will block your ability to imagine. This is why our drinking water is contaminated with fluoride. It is very important to remove any source of fluoride from your diet and to eat foods that decalcify the pineal gland and support pineal health. You can Google this, and there are infinite sites available online that will teach you how to decalcify your pineal gland so that you can open up your intuition and your imagination. The reason that there's fluoride in our water, just think about where that comes from, and you'll have the answer to that. As we were talking about before, there are those who don't want us to wake up, don't want us to use our imagination or our intuition. But the thing is, you have the power. You have all the power. Nothing is stronger than your ability to imagine, and that's the whole point. Other things that help to open up the pineal gland, the third eye, are theta state meditation. Imagining, of course, opens up the pineal gland. The more you can imagine, the more you'll be able to imagine. Certain plant medicines that contain DMT, like ayahuasca, activate the pineal gland. It's also important to detoxify your body and remove heavy metals. Zeolite I have found to be a very good way to remove heavy metals from the body. The same way that I imagine that green skating skirt into creation, we each have the ability to imagine our dreams into creation, and especially to imagine a new paradigm of life on this planet. Right now, you have the free will to shift your focus to higher versions of reality. You have the innate power to choose. That allows you to believe anything that you desire. Your focused belief will affect reality in such a way that life shifts and aligns upwards towards love, peace, and harmony. We take back control of our sacred lives and our precious world by claiming imagination. You are the only one who has to do this. Don't worry about anyone else. There are as many versions of reality as there are people on this planet. You only need to be responsible for your version of reality. In the first 6 classes, you have heard me over and over again talk about releasing negative thinking, shifting negative thinking. Often we don't even realize when we are partaking in negative thinking. So I'm going to make it really clear for you. Negative thinking is thinking about that which you do not want. Negative thinking is thinking about that which you do not want. So if you're ever wondering if your thinking is negative, you can simply ask yourself, is this something I want or something that I don't want? Your emotions and your body will tell you. If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel like it flows, chances are you are negative. You are thinking negatively. Positive thinking is thinking about what you do want. Again, positive thinking is thinking about what you do want. If you feel positive and happy and like you're in the flow and full of possibilities, chances are you are thinking positively. It's as easy as that. Many times we don't realize that we're thinking negatively because we've got these patterns and programs running. And we have been thinking negative for so long that we don't even realize that that's what we're doing. And yes, it does take time to change your thinking, but there's nothing worth your energy and your time more than shifting your thinking. Thinking is a form of imagination. You can't be imagining a beautiful home and a beautiful relationship while you're still thinking negative thoughts that cancel each other out. Everything must be in alignment. And yes, it does take time, one step at a time. But eventually, sooner rather than later, you will arrive at a point where your thoughts and your imagination and your emotions are in alignment. And you have activated the law of attraction vibrationally, and you can easily and effortlessly attract that which you desire. Imagine that you are at a train station, and there is an eastbound train going one way and a westbound train going the other way. And you can get on either train. The eastbound train is going in the direction that you want to go. The westbound train is going in the direction that you do not want to go. Which train do you get on? That seems like a silly question. Why would you ever get on the train that will take you where you don't want to go? Of course not. You would get on the train that will take you where you want to go. Well, when you choose to think negatively, you are actually getting on the train going in the direction that you do not want to go. When you think positively, you are getting on the train that takes you in the direction in which you do want to go. Think about that for a second. You're at the train station. You can get on one train or the other. One train takes you where you want to go. The other train takes you away from where you want to go. Which train do you get on? You get on the train going where you want to go. Now, a lot of people, they get on the train going where they don't want to go. And they get to the end of the line, and instead of realizing, hey, this is not where I want to be, I need to get off this train and hop on the train going where I do want to go, instead of doing that, they complain about where they've landed. More negative thinking. And the more you complain, the bigger the hole you dig where you don't want to be. The bigger the hole that you dig where you don't want to be. And why would you do that? It makes no sense. We only do it because we have never been taught to do anything other than this. You're at the train station, and you want to go to your perfect relationship. Do you think thoughts about how wonderful that would be? Imagining being in love and in partnership with somebody who loves you. Or do you think about how lonely you are and that other person is never going to show up, or if they do, they'll think you're too much of this or not enough of that, or they'll abandon you or reject you? Which thoughts do you think? If you think the latter thoughts, you've gotten on the train going to where you don't want to go. And there you are at the end of the line where you don't want to go. And instead of getting off that train and hopping on the train that takes you to the relationship that you do want to go, nope, you complain. So bad, I'm so lonely, it's never going to change. You dig a bigger hole where you don't want to be. There's good news here. At any time, at any moment, in any second, you can get off that train going where you don't want to go, and you can hop on the train to go where you do want to go, simply by thinking better thoughts, simply by thinking thoughts, imagining that which you do want. You want abundance. Well, if you think abundant thoughts, if you imagine abundance without split energy, without thinking that you can't have it or shouldn't have it and all those other things, if you truly imagine abundance and you think abundant thoughts, you are on the train going towards abundance. And you will arrive at abundance. As long as you don't think, oh, I've been on this train long enough, it didn't work, I'm going to get off. Stay on the train as long as it takes. If you're only testing out that train, and you're going to get off if it doesn't happen in a week or a month or a year or whatever, well, it won't work. How long should you stay on the train, going in the direction that you want to go? For as long as it takes. If you're just testing something, oh, I'll wait, a couple of months. If I don't meet that special person, or if I don't get that money, then, I'm just going to give up. The universe knows that. That's not a commitment. You're already going in the wrong way. You're already on the train going to where you don't want to go. Once you choose something, make it a choice that you will not change. Commit to your choice. How long will I be on the train going to where I want to go? As long as it takes. Where are you now? And where do you want to go? Which train are you on? During class 1, we explored this idea of living above the line. Living above the line. Let's define the line again. So, there's this imaginary line, and everything above the line, we'll say, is positive. Everything above the line is it's good feelings and flow and love and abundance, and everything below the line is, difficulty and friction and being out of the flow and heaviness, and the further beneath that line you get, the further down, the lower you get, the more depressed you get. The higher above the line, the more joy, the more peace, the more freedom, the more liberation. Most of us live somewhere around the line. We hover just above the line, we drop beneath the line, we come above the line. Very hard place to live, because when you're just living around that imaginary line, it doesn't take much to get pulled down beneath the line. Something negative happens, you react to it, boom, you're down beneath the line. More negative things happen beneath the line, which you do not want, you react to them. Even if you've been able to pull yourself up through positive thinking or meditation, whatever, above the line, that's great. But you've already created some instant karma for yourself from when you were beneath the line. And that's going to hit you. That's going to show up in your reality. And if you react to it, guess what? You're down beneath that line again. When we create from below the line, we are actually creating from a state of negativity. When we create from above the line, we are creating from a state of positivity. Always create from a state of positivity. Always use the power of imagination when you're feeling good. Because if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling down, chances are what you're going to imagine is going to be down. It is important to do whatever it takes, go for a walk, go for a swim, meditate, breathe, in order to feel better before you practice imagination. So when you're feeling down and you find yourself imagining more of what you do not want, do whatever it takes to stop those thought patterns. Do whatever it takes to feel better. Do whatever it takes to rise above this line. And then practice positive imagination. When we are beneath the line, we are unconscious. We are asleep. When we are above the line, we are conscious. The higher above, the more conscious, the more awake. You could also think of this in terms of being connected to Source. When we drop beneath the line, we disconnect. When we rise above the line, the higher we go, the more connected we are. The more connected we are, the more life flows, the more we are in touch with intuition and knowing, the more we're able to download bodies of information, the more we're able to consciously create the life we want through the power of our imagination. It's all about vibration. Where are you vibrating? You can think of this line as the cutoff between high and low vibrations, with 1 to 5 being beneath the line and 5 to 10 being above the line. Where is your vibration right now? The higher your vibration, the more connected you are. The lower your vibration, the less connected you are. And it's not about, beating yourself up or making yourself bad or judging yourself for not being, at a high vibration. These are tools for awareness. These are measurements on a scale. These are signs on the road to use in order to empower yourself, in order to get connected, raise your vibration, and live above the line in order to create the life that you truly desire. The more awake you are, the more power you have to create the life that you desire. So you're here on Earth, and you're noticing all that is wrong. And I grant you, there is a great deal that is wrong. When we look at all the problems of the world, it's easy to get overwhelmed and put our heads in the sand. But that is not why you came here, and that is not why I came here. Maybe your head is not in the sand, and you are blatantly aware of the world. You're blatantly aware of what the world is going through with all its turmoil. As the saying goes, going to hell in a handbag. The thing is, you came here to create a better future. You came here to create a better future for future generations. You came here to create heaven on earth. But how can you create heaven on earth when you are looking at or even experiencing what appears to be hell? Not an easy task if you don't understand the hidden dynamics of conscious creation. The problem is, most of us did not bring this memory with us when we were born, and of course being a conscious creator isn't part of the school curriculum yet. Luckily, you and I have this incredible forum to communicate, and I'm going to lay it out straight for you, and then you can decide what you choose to do with it. It's normal human nature to look at something undesirable and either get fixated or repulsed by it. It's no secret that neither of these responses will change anything. When we are fixated on a problem, we are actually giving our energy to the problem, and the problem grows. When we are repulsed and turn away, we are still giving energy to the problem because we hold the vibration of repulsion between us and that which repulses us. That too adds to the energy of the problem. If we take action from either of these states, we are aligned with the energy of the problem, and therefore we are not aligned with the energy, the vibration of the solution. This means that any action taken from these states of consciousness will not remedy the issue and may even add to the mountain before us. Instead of being paralyzed by the world's woes or fueled by fear, there is another way. We live in a problem-solving universe. We live in a universe that creates through problem-solving. This means that the universe utilizes problems to innovate solutions and then orchestrates the manifestation of those solutions. This is how the universe expands through the process of manifestation. With every problem, there is a solution that grows the universe. You might even say that the solution exists prior to the problem, and the problem is designed to invoke the solution. In other words, if everything was all nice and tidy, lovely and sweet, we would not ask for more. And if we, as creators, don't ask for more, the universe does not grow. The universe loves problems because the problems spark manifestation, and often grand manifestation in the form of solutions. The bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. This is why we are in for huge shifts on our planet right now. But someone, well, you and me, for example, has to ask for these shifts and has to align with these shifts in order for them to materialize. If you keep staring at the problem and focusing on more problems, what you get is more and more problems without the solutions. The problems act as contrast, so that we do ask for something better. Without contrast, we wouldn't know what to ask for. But if you keep looking at the contrast, the problem, and complaining about the contrast, complaining about the problem, you just get more and more contrast, more and more problems, without ever realizing, without ever manifesting the solution. You are also not doing your job as conscious creator, or rather, you are doing half your job. You are noticing the problem, but you are not asking for or aligning with the solution in the way that the universe can deliver. Or more precisely, the way in which you can experience the solution. You see, every solution already exists in the quantum field, but if we are not a vibrational match, a complement to that solution, it does not materialize in what we experience and what we call our reality. Again, all solutions already exist, but if we are more aligned with the problem than the solution cannot be experienced through us. So how do you align with the solution? Despite how real everything might seem, well, thanks to our vibrational interpreting senses, our world is not solid. According to many experts in the field of quantum physics, reality is often compared to a holographic universe. This means that reality is dreamlike in nature. If this is true, and it is, the next question is, how can you change or control a dream? You certainly cannot change or control a dream by brute strength, but you can affect the dream through consciousness. Now take a moment and look around. Whatever you now see, hear, smell, or feel is experienced through your consciousness. Again, try to find something, anything, that is not experienced through your consciousness. It is impossible. Here's the thing. Reality is not just experienced through your consciousness. Reality is projected through your consciousness. In other words, without your consciousness, reality as you know it would not exist. We are having a really grown-up conversation here because we are talking about taking complete responsibility for our individual consciousness. And if you can take responsibility for your consciousness, you have taken responsibility for reality, for your reality. If you want to change reality, you must first change your consciousness. So, if you're focusing on the problem, your consciousness is both projecting and experiencing the problem. The more you focus on what you do not want, the more you create what you do not want, causing you to get caught in a perpetual loop, or what is commonly known as, well, Groundhog Day. The problem cannot change as long as you give your energy, your consciousness, to it. What is the key to shifting consciousness? Well, that's the million-dollar question. How do you change your consciousness so that you will experience a higher version of reality we will call the solution? The answer to this question must be something that you can alter in yourself. What is the one and only thing that you have control over? Now, you already know this. What is the one and only thing that you already have control over? The answer, of course, is your imagination. Granted, most of us have imaginations just like runaway trains, just like the runaway trains that we were talking about before, taking us along for the ride in the direction we don't want to go. But this is only because no one has ever showed you how to manage and master your imagination. Your imagination, again, is the magic wand of all the universe, and you are the wizard. Imagination is the ability to image something, anything, into being. Notice that I'm not saying visualization. Visualizing is part of imagination, and often an essential part, but it is only one component. When you imagine something, you may see, hear, smell, taste, and feel it as if it is already so. If you only visualize, you are limiting your imagination. This is worth repeating. Not everyone has the ability to visualize, but everyone has the ability to imagine in their own personal, powerful way. The final component to imagination is belief. If you don't believe it, you have created a vehicle without the energy to run it. So it takes you nowhere. Belief is the energy of the universe that ignites the quantum field into action. If you imagine something, but you have this inner voice that is criticizing your imagination or reciting all the reasons why it can never be so, you are missing the whole point, and you are misaligning with the creative process. This is split energy. Your work is to massage your imagination over and over until you reach a point where you believe in your imagination, or better said, you believe what you imagine. It is your belief that energizes images into manifestation. If you do not believe the reality of what you're imaging, you are not in alignment with its manifestation. And if you are not in alignment, it cannot manifest in your reality, in your consciousness. If you say that you want something, but you don't believe that you can have it, you have incongruent energy. In order for you to consciously create a better reality, your energy must be congruent. Your thinking, emotions, everything else that you project must line up in order for manifestation to occur. Your belief is an indicator of your alignment. If you don't believe that you can have what you desire, your divided energy goes in opposite directions, neutralizing the power of your desire. It's as if you get on both trains at the same time. You might think, how do I know that I can believe what I imagine? The thing is, you can have anything that you dream about. The universe always says yes. But if you don't believe that you can have it, because you feel unworthy, or you have self-doubt, or you're not a vibrational match to that which you desire, and therefore it will not materialize, it is only you that is keeping you from having what you want, both on a global and personal scale. Your work is to get out of the way, to release all the beliefs that keep you from knowing that you can have what you desire on every level. If you do this work, eventually your consciously creative beliefs will turn into a sense of knowing. Once you know something, it is as good as done. The key to imagination is knowing that it is so. It is done, it is done, it is done. Whatever form of imaging that it takes to arrive at the perfect knowing, at the knowing it is perfect, or maybe you can just know it. This is the secret of the ages. As we were discussing previously, why would you imagine that which you do not want? Well, there's no reason, but we do it because we have been programmed to do it. Since the time we were very young, we have been trained by parents, teachers, society, media to focus on what is wrong so that we might protect ourselves from jeopardy. The world whispers in our ear, be afraid and watch for danger. Those who loved us thought they were doing good, while those with an ulterior motive brainwashed us for the success of their own outcome. So now you might be thinking, what about all those negative powers that appear to run the world? How do we overcome them? Well, first you can stop working for them. If you are focusing on what is wrong in the world, you are working for them. In order to keep things going in a downward spiral, they need our participation. They need us to keep our imagination focused on the problems. If we take our power back by choosing to control our imagination, choosing to control our focus, they will lose the energy and power necessary to keep the whole system running. And they know this. Why do you think we are bombarded through the news media and entertainment industry with so much fear and negativity? They need us. They need us to use our imagination to keep the whole show running. If we turn our attention fully to the solutions through the power of our imagination, we will experience a planetary quantum shift. It doesn't take the whole world, it only takes a small percentage of the people until we reach a threshold and the paradigm crumbles and the new one emerges. Not from the dust, but from the fire of imagination. If you perceive war, ask for peace by imagining peace. If you perceive poverty, ask for abundance by imagining abundance. If you perceive oppression, ask for freedom by imagining freedom. If you perceive fear or hate, imagine unconditional love. This is how you ask for unconditional love. How long should you imagine healing, resolution, and evolution? As long as it takes. Does this mean that we don't take action? Well, of course not. Any shift requires physical integration into reality, which means action. But there's a big difference between taking action that is motivated by fear and action that is inspired by divine alignment. If you take action without first aligning with the solution that you desire, your action's either pointless or aids the problem, feeds the problem. If, however, you first align with the solution through your imagination, and then you take inspired action, your action will be fueled with the power and intensity of the whole universe. This is the way in which you invoke the power of the universe. It might be easy to imagine a positive outcome to a problem, but we often get stuck on the details of how can it be done. It might seem impossible to get from here to the solution. When we start thinking about the how, we become overwhelmed and anxious. We lose energy and we block our imagination. In order to tap into this great power of imagination, it is important to drop the how. The how is none of your business. The how is none of your business. The how is likely to entail details that your human mind cannot possibly grasp or understand at this point in the creative process. The details are also likely to include miracles that seem beyond reason. So don't worry about the how. The how is the universe's job, not yours. For many of us, our job is simply to practice imagining the solutions of peace, love, and harmony for humanity, for the world. It is ego that wants a tangible part to play, but the most important role in transformation is the part of imagination. Having said that, if you are meant to see and implement the how will reveal itself to you at exactly the right moment and in exactly the right order. If it is your job to participate in the tangible manifestation of the solution, divine intelligence will provide you with the how in a way that you can contribute through your gifts and talents, or you will be guided in the right direction in ways that you cannot possibly imagine at this time. This is all part of the grand plan of creation. If you are meant to participate or contribute tangibly in the solution, it is important that you are tapped into the source of that solution. If you are not connected, even if you had a part to play, you will not be in a position to execute your part. Notice what is wrong. Imagine the best possible solution until you believe it. Align with it energetically, and if called, take inspired action. It seems as if we live in a world of limited resources, but that is part of the illusion. We live in a world of unlimited resources. Resources that are infinite and abundant, much like a dream would be. When you have a dream at night, there is an infinite abundance of whatever you need in your dream. Money, food, love, whatever you need, you can dream it into being so. The only limitation is your ability to imagine, your ability to believe. Life is very much the same. We are only limited by our own beliefs. Never be afraid to ask for what you desire. The universe always says yes. It is your job to align with that which you desire. We're often told that there's a sacrifice for what we want. Yes, there is always a sacrifice. You must sacrifice your negative thinking. You must sacrifice your negative imagination. You must give it up. You must devote your mind and your focus and your attention to that which you want. You must pay attention. That is the payment. Pay attention to that which you desire. Sacrifice the idea, imagination of thought of what you do not desire. Divine supply is infinite and abundant. There's enough and more than enough for every single being. You are constantly, either consciously or unconsciously, creating the world around you. You are commanding life and reality into being. There are certain commands that we use and we don't even realize that they are commands. We command the quantum field when we say or think such things as, I am poor, I am rich, I am kind, I am angry. We command the quantum field when we say, I will help others. I will love myself. I will be positive. I will build a house. I will invent pure energy for everyone to use. I will be. Commands like, I know that I can do anything that I desire. I know I can accomplish my greatest dreams. I know I can climb that mountain. I know I could swim that ocean. How many times have we experienced something that we didn't like and we say, I knew that would happen? Well, the other side of it is, I know I'm going to fail. You fail. I knew I would fail. Look inside. Become aware of what it is that you know. And if you don't like what you know, take the time and change your mind. Once you know something, it is done, it is done, it is done. Make sure you know that which you want to know and not what you do not want to know. Even I have to is a command. You are telling yourself, I have to do this. Be careful what you tell yourself you have to do. Should is not a command. I should go to the gym. I should do yoga. I should drink more water. Not a command. Very often we use I should in order to motivate ourselves. It will never work. It is not a command. If you want to change something, if you want to go to yoga, drink more water, or go to the gym, use commands like, I know I'm going to the gym today. I know I'm going to do yoga 3 times a week. I know I'm going to drink as much water as I need. Or, I will go to the gym. I will go to yoga. I will drink more water. Feel the difference in your body. Just play with these things. Play with, I should get some sun today. Versus, I will get some sun today. I know I will get some sun today. shoulds will never get you where you want to go. Even if you're shooting yourself in a direction that you want to go, you're on the wrong train, you're going in the wrong direction, you can feel it. Which way you're going, your body will always tell you. Your body is this most amazing technology. In all the universe, your body is incredible quantum technology. And in order to use that technology, you need to get in your body. You need to be in your body. You need to experience your body. You need to feel your body. You need to love your body. Your body will always tell you if you're going the wrong way or the right way. Your body will always tell you if you're on the train going east or you're on the train going west. Your body knows. But if you don't take care of your body, if you don't love your body, if you dislike your body, if you've put substances in your body that numbs your body, if you allow your body to deteriorate, if you give your body commands that are not healthy for your body, guess what? You have detached from your inner guidance. You have detached from this great, great technology. Your body provides this inner guidance. What I like to call inner guidance, because it is God in your body. And when you get in your body and you listen to your body, you've tapped into the power of the universe. You have tapped into God. You have tapped into your inner guidance. Your body is your temple. Imagine for a moment that instead of it, just being convenient to have a body to get around, imagine that you, your spirit, your soul, came here to take care of this body. Just like you were maybe somebody who had to take care of a sacred or ancient temple, that it was your job to care for that temple, to make sure that that temple lasted and was in good shape and was beautiful and could hold sacred energy. And if that was your job, you'd probably take that job pretty seriously. Well, guess what? Your body is your temple. Your body is your beautiful, beautiful sacred temple that provides not just for you, but allows you to experience the world and allows you to experience sacred energy in the physical form. And if you're not taking care of your body, you have misaligned with who you really are. What will it take for you to get in your body, be in your body, love your body, have a beautiful, ageless body? And oh yes, drop the age. We're so dependent on age. Yeah, when you're a kid, that's fun. My grandson's 5 years old. It's fun to be 5, but there's a point where throw out the age. You don't need the age. Because every time you think of a certain age, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, there are certain ideas that are attached to it. And these ideas are often ideas that do not support your higher good or physical well-being. And then sharing your age with others, and they look at you. They project those same images onto you. We are constantly projecting images of ourselves out into the world, and others are projecting them back to us. Age creates images, and you don't need it. If you dropped the age and you became ageless, you might discover greater health, greater well-being, greater vitality. What would it be like to be ageless? What would it be like to project a different, more empowering image of yourself out onto the world that was beyond any limitations? What image do you now project? How do you imagine yourself? Do you imagine yourself healthy and vibrant, creative and brilliant? How do you imagine yourself? If you imagine yourself in ways that don't make you feel very good, you're on the train going the wrong way. Start imagining yourself the way in which you want to be. You can make quantum shifts in your body and in your life by using your imagination. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. When this class is complete in a few moments, I invite you to take some time and to sit down and to write down what it is that you desire for yourself, for your body, for your life, in terms of health and relationships and abundance and living circumstance and everything. Write it all down, everything. Don't hold back. And then write down what you want for the world. What's your greatest dream for our planet and humanity? Don't worry about the how. Just write down your greatest dream for yourself and for the world. And then every day, read that back. Every day, spend some time imagining it as if it is already so. And if you experience inspiration to take action, do it. Don't question it, just do it. Get out of your way and take inspired action. See what happens. You have nothing to lose. At the very least, imagining that which you desire will make you feel good. As long as you don't get sucked into disappointment or frustration or impatience. Those are illusions. You don't need to get on that train. All you have to do is imagine that which you desire for as long as it takes. And there's something about saying, I'm going to imagine what I desire for as long as it takes, that actually speeds up the time that it takes. Exponential growth, exponential transformation. The universe knows if you're just trying it out or if you're committed to that which you choose, to that which you imagine, and you can't fool the universe. All the power is inside of you. Right now, right here. And having said all of that, it is always up to divine will. It is always up to what I call God. It is always up to this grand source of the universe. There is nothing that we can do, be, or have without this grand, beautiful, divine source providing it for us. Look around. Everything is a result of God. There is nothing that's not a result of this divine consciousness. When we ask for something and it is given out of love for us through and from divinity. And that's the whole point. It's easy when we become conscious creators to get caught up in the power of it. Like, wow, I did that. I'm so powerful. I'm amazing. And yes, you are, but it's not you. And that's the whole point. It's you in conscious co-creation with Source. But it is Source that is always bringing it, giving it, providing it. And this is where gratitude sparks all that is possible. Being grateful for that which you want before it even materializes, knowing that Source says yes. Always, always. So as you step into your power as conscious creator, remember that it's not you alone. In some ways, it's not you at all. It is always divine creator. But the thing is, we are all made from this same source. So you are this source, you are this divine creator. It is inside you, and it is you, and it is not you, all at the same time. Remember who you really are as conscious co-creator. And remember that all your good comes from the goodness of the all. And that is the point, the whole point. And it is so good. And it is so delicious. We are here to create. We are here to create from the conscious and awake state. And it doesn't get better than that. In a moment, we're going to do our 7th and final meditation of the Spiritual Awakening series. But before that, I'd like you to visit my website at nanice.com, Nanice.com. And if you haven't listened to the other teleclasses, they are all available on the website, as well as many, many articles, inspiring articles, empowering articles. You'll also find coaching sessions available. If you're interested in coaching with me, check out the link for coaching. I offer all different types of programs. I'm sure there's something perfect for you, or we can create a custom program. You'll also find my books available: The Infinite Power of You, The 22 Secrets to Owning Your Power, Even Gandhi Got Hungry and Buddha Got Mad, Creating the Stories That Create Our Lives, Changing Beliefs, Zest Point, The Power of Choice, very connected to much that we spoke about during this class. Lip Prints, a small book that can show you how to be the change you want to be in the world right now. I Am, a book that chronicled an aspect of my own spiritual awakening. It's very beautiful. What If, a photo meditation guide. And my newest book, Out of the Jungle, a beginner's book to ayahuasca. You can find them all on my website at nanice.com, Nanice.com. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. I answer all my emails. You can just click on the contact link or the Ask Nanice link, and that will go directly to my email. And I look forward to hearing from you and hearing about your journey and your questions. Okay, take a deep breath. The deeper, the better. And as you take a deep breath, I'd like you to imagine that what you breathe in is beautiful energy of love. That you can breathe in love. What color is it? Is it blue? Is it yellow? Is it pink? Whatever color is absolutely perfect. Breathe in this beautiful energy of love and light, of joy, of peace. Allow it to fill your lungs and fill your heart. Allow it to overflow all the way down your torso, into your legs, down into your toes, up into your head, your face, down into your shoulders and your neck, your arms, your hands, your entire body, every cell in your body giddy with this love and light of the universe. I invite you to join me in sitting by the most beautiful stream on a rock in the sun on the most beautiful warm spring day. You can feel the warmth of the sun beating down on your face, on your body. You can hear the birds, the gentle breeze caressing your skin. In the distance, you can hear and even see a magnificent waterfall. The ice caps melting from the mountains just beyond and flowing down through this waterfall into the stream. Fresh water passing by you. You might even dangle your feet in the stream. And as you're sitting by the stream, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine this spirit, this being, right before he or she came into creation, and the divine picking the perfect parents for this being. And if you are male, this being is male, and if you are female, this being is female. Just so that you understand this perspective of creation. Imagine this beautiful being born, the birth of this being, the love of his or her parents. Imagine this baby being held and caressed, nurtured, unconditional love, guided through life. The first steps, the first words, loving parents, loving family. A world that loves this child. A world that honors this child. This child learns to communicate and learns to use his or her imagination. This child goes to schooling and has education that supports him or her to be the best being, learning about all sorts of amazing innovations, and learns how to use the mind and creativity and imagination and words and language. And he or she grows up with unlimited access to unlimited knowledge, beautiful friends, beautiful home, beautiful everything. This child knows their worth. This child knows how special they are. This child sees the world through God's eyes. This child is connected to God. This child grows up knowing his or her purpose, having a beautiful, healthy body and mind, able to consciously create what he or she desires at any time, feeling wonderful about life, about love, about the world. This child, this adult now, lives in a world that is beautiful and perfect. Imagine this. Imagine the realization of this beautiful being into adulthood. Imagine the realization of this beautiful being into this world. And as you're sitting on the rock by this magnificent stream, you open your eyes, and before your eyes is this being. He or she is standing there smiling at you, thanking you for imagining him or her into creation. He or she takes your hand, and you stand up, and you look into the eyes of this beautiful being, and you see the perfection of the divine, what that would look like without disempowering beliefs, what that would look like without fear, who this being was able to become without limitation, with the support of family and schooling and everything. And you rejoice at the magnificence of how beautiful this person is. And as you're staring into his or her eyes, suddenly you realize you're staring into your own eyes. You are staring into the eyes of yourself. You are staring into the eyes of who you are without fear and without disempowering beliefs. You are staring into the eyes of yourself with love, with the support of unconditional love through a lifetime, with the knowing of your abilities to create, to be love, share love, spread love. This is you. This is you, who you really are. When everything that is not you falls away, dissolves, this is what is left. This beauty, this magnificence, this power. Breathe. And as you stare into your own eyes, you realize that there's an invitation. And that invitation is to step into your real self, to step into this higher version, to step into this version of you without false beliefs, without fear, without pain. And if it feels right to you, step into yourself. Imagine taking a physical step into your own true self and feel that integration. Feel what it's like to have the body and head and mind and breath of who you really are. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Feel the love that rises up. You are this love. You are this light. And as you've stepped into your true self, you become aware that there's a beautiful golden light coming from up above into the crown of your head, representing your connection to Source. And Source flows through you in the form of this light, in the form of this love. All the way from head to toe. Through every cell in your body filled with this golden light of love. And this is who you really are. And breathe. It has been my absolute joy and pleasure to have shared these classes with you. I love our time together. Thank you for allowing me the space in your home, in your heart, to share, to be present, to express, to consciously co-create with you and the divine. I love you. Be well. Be happy. The universe is at your service. Dance the best dance, sing the best song, imagine the best imagination. It's all up to you. It always has been and always will be. Till next time, you are light, you are love, and all is well.